They came for you. Every corner, every shadow, every whispered word in dark hallways and behind closed doors, they followed it all. And now, my friend, they've done a full investigation. Every witness, every single one. They said the same thing, repeated it like a broken record. And here you are, sitting there, feeling the weight of their eyes even when none of them are in the room. Feels suffocating, doesn't it? The kind of pressure that twists your stomach, tightens your chest, and makes your heartbeat feel like a drum in a tomb. But here's the twist. That weight, that scrutiny, that relentless gaze, that's not the end. That's the beginning. They think they see you. They think they know your story. But what they have is shadows, mirrors, reflections. Just reflections. You see, they build their case like sculptors chiseling marble. Every word measured, every testimony recorded, every piece of evidence stacked neatly into a tower meant to crush you. Every witness thinks they're the judge. Every statement is supposed to nail you to a wall and call it justice. Nah, they're just actors in a play. And you, my friend, are the one reading the script upside down. Every claim, every rumor, every truth they've put together is nothing without the fire that burns behind your eyes. That fire, that's your weapon, and yes, they are watching. Yes, they are talking. But here's the thing, they have no idea how far this fire can reach when it's unleashed. Let's talk about fear for a second. Fear. It's a funny thing. It creeps in when the walls close in. It whispers. They will break you. They will expose you. They will make you small. And you listen for a heartbeat. Just a heartbeat. And then you laugh. Because fear is only powerful when you hand it the pen to write your story. Every witness, every investigator, every so-called expert on you, they are merely scribblers trying to sketch shadows of a storm they can't control. And you are the storm. They are trying to map lightning with chalk. Foolish. Think about the tension, the weight of anticipation, the dark corners of their minds trying to predict your next move. Every report they file, every statement they whisper to one another, every flicker of doubt they try to plant in their own ranks, it's all fuel. Fuel for the engine that's been running in your chest all along. They want a version of you that fits neatly into their reports. They want you small, measured, contained, and every witness who agreed, every testimony that mirrored another, every tick of the clock, they think they've cornered you. Oh, the irony. The more they write you down, the more alive you become. The more they claim to see, the more invisible you really are. Here's the truth. People are predictable. They love patterns. They love to repeat. And right now, their pattern is pointing straight at you. Every witness said the same thing, didn't they? Every account lining up like dominoes. Predictable, neat, safe. But you, yes, you are chaos in motion. And chaos does not fit into neat little boxes. Chaos cannot be filed. Chaos cannot be tamed. Every investigation, every eye, every recording they piled together, it's just a map to nowhere. You are already somewhere else. Think about the power in that. They worked hard. They watched. They scrutinized. And what do they really have? A collection of words, a mosaic of assumptions, a gallery of interpretations. But nothing lives there. Nothing breathes there. Not like you. And that, my friend, is where motivation is born. Not from applause, not from approval, not from their imagined verdicts, but from the knowledge that you are still the one writing the story. Every pulse, every heartbeat, every shadow, you slip through unnoticed. Imagine their faces when it all unravels, not because you played fair, not because you followed their rules, but because you simply existed on your terms. That's the kind of tension that tastes like electricity in your veins. That's the kind of drama that burns brighter than every witness statement, every observation, every second of surveillance stacked like a mountain against you. You didn't need permission to exist, and you certainly don't need validation to move. They can investigate, they can whisper, they can agree on a single version of truth. But the truth, the real truth, that lives only where you allow it. So lean into it. Let the weight press against you. Let the eyes burn holes into your shadow. Every agreement among witnesses, every corroborated story, it's just noise. Background music to the scene where you finally step out of their frame and show them what they never could see. And when you do, when you finally step forward, when the fire in your chest becomes a storm they can't ignore, they'll remember, not the evidence, not the statements, not the witnesses. They'll remember that there was something wild, something untamed, something untraceable that existed right in front of their eyes, and they never truly touched it. Yes, the investigation is over. Every witness said the same thing, every report neatly folded, every shadow mapped, and yet you remain. Watching, waiting, smiling quietly to yourself, not in spite of them, but because of them, because the weight they thought would crush you has only made you sharper, stronger, more precise, more alive than ever. And now the real story begins. Now listen closely, because this is where most people stumble. They hear the whispers, they see the shadows, they feel the weight of every witness and every truth stacked against them, and they fold. They shrink, they settle for scraps of safety. But you don't settle. You take that weight, that relentless gaze, that suffocating pressure, and you turn it into fuel. Every fact they wrote about you, every statement they believed was a nail in your coffin, you turn them into sparks. Sparks that light the fuse of your own story. Every witness said the same thing. Predictable, right? That's what makes it so delicious. Because now you know the game. Now you see the pattern. And patterns, they're weaknesses. You are the variable they didn't account for. You are the unexpected, the glitch, the anomaly that refuses to be contained. And once you embrace that, once you realize that being observed doesn't mean being defeated, you step into a space where nothing can touch you, not their words, not their judgments, not their neat little towers of proof. Feel that tension. That's an opportunity knocking. Every investigation, every witness, every report, they think it limits you. They think it defines you. But it doesn't. Not unless you let it. You are not what they say you are. You are what you decide to be. And right now, as they nod in agreement, as their statements mirror each other like puppets on strings, they've given you the ultimate gift, clarity. They've revealed exactly how they see you. And clarity, my friend, clarity is power. Here's the trick. You don't fight them head on. You don't argue. You don't explain. Nah. You watch. You wait. You move where they can't. Every step they predicted, Every corner they thought they had sealed, you slip through. Every truth they believed about you, you twist it, you bend it, you take it and make it a ladder out of their frame. Every eye trained on you becomes a mirror, reflecting your own strength back at you. And that reflection, it's intoxicating. Now this is where most people lose themselves. They wait for permission. They wait for a sign. They wait for someone to say, it's your turn. But not you. You don't wait. You never wait. The real power isn't in being noticed. It's in moving when they aren't looking, in acting when they're busy counting witnesses. Every detail they documented, every agreement they reached, that's just background noise. And noise, you can use it. You can turn it into rhythm, into timing, into strategy. See the pattern. Study it. Observe how they fall into repetition. Every witness, every statement, every mirrored truth, there's a logic there. And logic is predictable. You are not. You are unpredictable. And unpredictability is your edge. You use it. You bend the rules they think exist. You move through their expectations like smoke through a crack. Every eye they cast in your direction is an invitation to show them what they'll never forget. Turn fear into motion. Every heartbeat that screamed when they scrutinized you, every stomach twist when they nodded at one another thinking they had you, that's energy. Channel it. Let it fuel your actions. Let it sharpen your instincts. Every witness that agreed, every statement repeated, let it push you further, faster, stronger. Not to prove them wrong, but to prove yourself alive, not just surviving, but thriving under the pressure they thought would crush you. Reclaim your story. Every investigation is someone else's attempt to write the plot of your life. Every witness, a supporting actor with lines they think matter. But you are the author. Every action, every choice, every move in the shadows is a word, a sentence, a chapter that belongs only to you. And when you write it with intent, with fire, with audacity, you create a narrative that no witness, no investigator, no mirrored truth can contain. Feel that thrill. That's not fear. That's the realization. That's the raw, electrifying sensation of power, not taken, but earned. The kind of power that doesn't scream, doesn't demand attention, doesn't beg for applause. It simply exists, and it moves, quietly, relentlessly, beautifully. And when you finally step into the light or disappear into the shadows, no one will know exactly what happened. And that is perfect. So here's the bottom line. They did a full investigation. Every witness said the same thing. Every statement stacked neatly. Every shadow mapped. And yet, here you are, alive, burning, untamed in ways they cannot measure. And now it's your turn to act, to move, to become the storm they tried to predict and failed. Every word they spoke, fuel. Every agreement among witnesses, momentum. Every expectation they had, an opportunity to rise. This isn't a story about them. This is your story. And the moment you stop fearing their eyes and start feeling the pulse of your own fire, that is the moment you take control. Not over their investigation, not over their words, but over yourself. And when you do, nothing will ever look the same again. Now listen closely, because this is where the story flips, where the scales tip. where all the whispers, all the investigations, all the witnesses, they stop mattering. Yes, they stop. You've already seen the cards they were dealt. You've already walked through the shadows they mapped. And now the choice is yours. Do you stay a character in their narrative, or do you burn the stage down and write your own scene? Every heartbeat you have left is a word, a step, a decision. And trust me, it's heavier than anything they've thrown at you. Here's the secret most people never see. The very thing that makes you vulnerable is the same thing that makes you dangerous. Every eye on you, every statement repeated, every agreement among witnesses, they think it exposes weakness. Weakness. They don't see that it's opportunity. Every expectation, every neatly stacked truth, every pattern they rely on is a leash, and you are not a dog to be led. You are the spark in a room of kindling. And all it takes is one move, one choice, one moment of pure, unfiltered intent to change everything. Can you feel it? That tightness in your chest, that rush of clarity. That's not fear anymore. That's power. The kind of power that doesn't wait for permission. The kind of power that rises quietly in the dark and hits like lightning before anyone even notices. Every witness, every report, every repeated statement, they are shadows chasing shadows. And you are the flame they can't touch. The more they try to define you, the more you redefine yourself. The more they expect, the more you surprise. Take control of perception. Every observer has a lens, a filter, a bias. They see what they want. They interpret what fits their pattern. And yet, every lens is cracked. Every filter is imperfect. You don't argue. You don't explain. You bend. You twist. You become the reflection they didn't expect to see. Every whisper becomes your rhythm. Every expectation becomes a step in your dance of chaos. Not chaos for the sake of chaos, but precision disguised as unpredictability. And when they finally realize it, it's too late. Own the aftermath. The investigation is finished. The witnesses have spoken. Their story is written, but your story, it is not. Every step you take now, every move you make, every choice you act on, it echoes louder than any report, louder than any testimony. You are the variable they never calculated, the equation they never solved, the storm they couldn't predict. And when you walk through the fallout, when you rise from the pressure they applied, no one will forget it. Not a single witness, not a single statement, not a single word. No. This isn't about revenge. It's about reclamation. Not proving them wrong, not satisfying their curiosity, not showing them they were blind. It's about showing yourself. Showing yourself that no stack of words, no chorus of agreement, no shadow of observation can contain what you are capable of. Every truth they believed they held, gone. Every chain they thought they fastened, broken. Every pattern they predicted, flipped. You are the anomaly, the storm, the pulse, the story that refuses to be told the way they imagined. Embrace the unknown. Step into the part of life they can't measure, can't investigate, can't predict. That is where freedom lives. That is where power thrives. That is where you rise. Not because anyone gave you a reason, not because the witnesses agreed, not because the investigation ended, but because you decided it was your turn. Your turn to move. Your turn to act. Your turn to exist on your own terms. And when you do, when you fully step into that space, every witness, every report, every shadow they cast, they fade into nothing. So stand, step forward, move when no one expects. Smile quietly to yourself as the world scrambles to understand what they can't. Every investigation, every witness, every repeated statement, they are behind you now. And ahead is the story you write, the fire you ignite, the presence you become. They did a full investigation. Every witness said the same thing. And yet, you remain. Stronger, sharper, alive, ready. And now, nothing can stop the story you were always meant to tell. Wow, they thought whispers could stay hidden forever, but shadows don't just hide, they snitch, right? Every corner has ears, every silence has a mouth, and guess what? Their secret meeting wasn't secret anymore. Oh, you feel that, the tension breaking apart. They plotted, they schemed, they laughed in the dark, but the walls were listening. The air was recording. Their crimes, every single one was overheard. Now picture it. Reports stacking, evidence growing fast, their names inked down, police knocking on doors. Oh, imagine the panic, the sweat dripping, the empire they built now collapsing in front of them. They thought you were weak? Nah, you were watching. They thought silence was safe. Silence betrayed them. Tick-tock. Every second the cage tightens more. And now their downfall has your fingerprints all over it. They thought whispers could hide in the dark. They thought shadows could cover the stains of their crimes. But shadows betray. They don't stay silent. They echo. They stretch. They cling to the walls until someone listens close enough to hear what wasn't meant to be heard. And someone did. Someone overheard their little secret meeting. Oh, imagine their faces when they realized the air had ears. Imagine the panic twisting in their throats when they discovered that the walls they trusted weren't walls at all. They were mirrors. Mirrors that reflected every dirty plot, every whispered betrayal, every scheme that dripped from their mouths. They thought they were invisible, untouchable. But the truth doesn't ask for permission to surface. You see, power makes people arrogant. It makes them careless. They forget that eyes exist in every corner, that silence isn't loyalty. Sometimes silence is simply the breath before the scream, and their crimes, overheard, recorded in the memory of someone who wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah, that's the part that makes them tremble. They thought they owned the room. They thought every face at the table was loyal, but loyalty is fragile when it's built on fear. Now imagine the sound of betrayal, not a shout, not a gunshot, just the subtle crack of a whisper slipping through the wrong ear. A whisper that walks its way down the street, finds the police, and quietly changes everything. Oh, it didn't explode at first. It crawled. It seeped. But once it reached the right hands, once it lit the right fire, their empire started to smolder. Nah, don't think for a second they're calm. They're not. They're pacing, chewing on their own paranoia, wondering who it was, who sat at that table, smiling, nodding, pretending, while secretly handing them over piece by piece. Because betrayal is not loud, it's surgical, it's clean. It's a knife slid gently between the ribs with a smile on the lips. Do you understand what that means? It means their empire of fear is cracking from within, not because someone fought them with fists, but because someone fought them with truth. The truth they couldn't bury, the truth they couldn't silence. And now, their secret meeting isn't secret anymore. Their crimes are no longer hidden. Their dirty hands are being dragged into the open, whether they like it or not. Oh, the irony. They built everything on deception. And yet, deception was the very rope that tightened around their throats. They believed whispers were safe. They believed shadows were loyal. But shadows don't protect you. Shadows only follow you. And eventually they lead others right to your crimes. Do you see it now? They are trapped in their own game. They can't control the story anymore. They can't erase the witness. They can't unspeak the words that were spoken in that room. Every second, the police file grows heavier. Every second, their faces grow paler. They've been exposed not by an enemy army, but by their own arrogance. Oh wow, the silence they're hearing now isn't peace. It's the sound of a clock ticking down. Tick, tock. Every second is another drop of fear seeping into their bones. Because they know once the cage closes, there's no breaking out. They know once the reports pile high, their names will stain ink forever. That's the weight of being caught. That's the weight of exposure. And here's the beauty of it. They thought you were weak. They thought you were nothing more than a shadow to them. But now, the spotlight has flipped. It's on them. They are the hunted. They are the accused. They are the ones scrambling in the dark, praying for silence. But silence is gone. Silence has turned into evidence. The meeting is no longer theirs. It belongs to history now, to the record, to the truth that cannot be undone. And what comes next? Oh, what comes next is even darker, because exposure is only the beginning. Punishment doesn't arrive with a polite knock. It doesn't ask for permission. It storms in, uninvited, dragging chains behind it. And now, those who sat at that secret table are learning the taste of it. Exposure was the spark, but punishment is the fire that follows. Oh wow. They thought exposure was the worst of it. They thought whispers turning into reports was the end of the road. No. Exposure is only the stage light. Punishment is the execution of the play itself. And in that theater, the audience isn't clapping. The audience is waiting to see who burns first. You see, once the truth is out, the system starts moving. It's slow at first, like a predator stalking. Papers shuffle, calls are made, evidence is reviewed, but then it speeds up. The walls close in. Every corner becomes smaller. Every move becomes riskier. They wanted control, but now control is the one thing they'll never have again. Yeah, they can try to deny it. They can try to rewrite the story, paint themselves as victims, scream that it's all lies. But lies collapse under the weight of proof, and proof doesn't blink. Proof doesn't bend. Proof stares them down until their excuses melt. Now picture it. Each one of them, once bold, once laughing at the table, now sitting alone in their rooms, phones buzzing, names appearing in reports, their words transcribed, their crimes inked in black and white. That's punishment before punishment. The fear of inevitability. The awareness that the rope is tightening even before it fully pulls. Nah, they can't escape it. Because punishment is not only the hammer that falls in the end. Punishment is the torment of waiting, the nights with no sleep, the mornings with no appetite, the paranoia that claws at their nerves. Who betrayed us? Who listened? Who reported? The questions won't stop circling, and the answers won't come fast enough. That's the first level of punishment, the slow unraveling of their own sanity. But it doesn't stop there. Exposure turns into something colder, something public. Punishment becomes a stage where the world watches them, stripped of their false dignity. Every face that once smiled at them now looks with disgust. Every hand that once shook theirs pulls away. Respect turns to ridicule. Fear turns to pity. And for people who built their lives on domination, that is punishment sharper than any blade. Oh wow, the system is merciless once it smells blood. It won't let them rewrite, won't let them erase. Step by step, it grinds them down. Investigations spread, files grow, their names pass from one office to another until their power is nothing but paper ashes. And the truth? The truth doesn't fade, it multiplies. That's what they never understood. Punishment isn't just the strike at the end. It's the chain of consequences that never stops pulling. Exposure may have begun with a whisper overheard, but punishment will end with silence, so loud it will devour them whole. Yeah, this is justice at its rawest. Not poetic, not dramatic, cold, relentless, real. It strips everything away. It doesn't care how powerful they thought they were. It doesn't care how many people feared them before. Once the crimes are out, punishment levels the field. Everyone bleeds the same under consequence. And yet, here's the twist. Punishment isn't only about them, it's about you. Because now the spotlight shifts, now the question burns. A weapon is most dangerous when it was never meant to exist in your hands. That's what makes their punishment different. It doesn't just crush them, it arms you, because every broken piece of their downfall becomes sharpened steel in your grip. And you're not here to waste it. You're here to turn it back on them. Oh wow, think about it. They tried to bury you in silence. They whispered about you in their hidden meetings, branding you as nothing, trying to erase your presence. But when their words turned into evidence, when their whispers became chains around their own necks, suddenly the silence was yours to command. Their downfall became your microphone. Their crimes became your proof. Their collapse became your leverage. Do you see the beauty of that? They thought punishment was only destruction, but destruction has two sides. For them it's ruin, for you it's rebirth. Every headline that drags their names through the mud also clears the mud they tried to throw at you. Every file that exposes their corruption is another brick smashed from the wall they built to block you. Their punishment isn't just theirs anymore, it belongs to you. It's the weapon you never had to steal because they delivered it to you themselves. Yeah, they'll hate you for it. They'll say you used their pain, their downfall, their exposure. But remember, they were the ones who set the stage. They planned the meeting. They spoke the crimes. They trusted the shadows. You didn't create the fire. You just refused to burn in it. And now the flames that scorch them illuminate your path. That's how punishment transforms into power. Because the same voices that once whispered lies about you will now tremble when they speak your name. They know you've heard it all. They know you've seen their hands dirty, their tongues dripping betrayal, their masks ripped apart. You carry the evidence inside you, and that makes you untouchable. Nah. Don't think this is just about revenge. This is strategy. This is survival. You don't fight back with fists. You fight back with truth, sharpened into blades. You don't waste energy screaming. You let the weight of their punishment scream for you. Because nothing cuts deeper than the silence of someone who doesn't even need to argue. The silence of someone who simply points at the proof and lets the world decide. Oh, wow. That silence will haunt them. Every step they take, they'll feel your presence without you even speaking. Because now the power has shifted. They no longer own the narrative. They no longer control the fear. Their punishment is your shield, and their exposure is your sword. That's the irony they'll never escape. They armed you while trying to destroy you. And here's the part that should make your blood sharpen. People are watching. They always watch when power crumbles. Some will try to crawl to you, pretending they always believed in you. Others will curse you in secret, still tied to the old order. But you don't need them, because the weapon is already in your hand, and once punishment turns into power, alliances don't matter. Fear does. Respect does. The truth you hold does. Yeah, they'll try to recover. They'll scramble. They'll bargain. They'll invent excuses. But you know what excuses sound like when punishment has already been delivered? They sound like begging. They sound like noise. And noise never wins against silence sharpened into certainty. So here's the truth. Their punishment is not just the end of them. It's the beginning of you. Their punishment is your stage, your armor, your arsenal. They tried to hide you in shadows, but in exposing themselves, they lit a fire under your name. And now the only question left is what you'll do with that weapon. Power unused is nothing but weight. It sits heavy, but it changes nothing. The moment you decide to use it, that's when the ground shifts beneath their feet, and that's when terror begins. Not yours, theirs. Oh wow. The fear that consumes them now isn't just about exposure. It's about retaliation. Because once you decide to wield the weapon their punishment is placed in your hand, they know every door they open might be the one you choose to slam shut. Every word they speak might be the one you choose to twist back against them. Every weakness they showed in arrogance is now ammunition aimed right at their hearts. Understand this. Using the weapon doesn't mean chaos. It means precision. You don't waste strikes. You don't scream when silence cuts sharper. You don't chase them. You let them run into the walls they built with their own lies. That's the art of turning punishment into power. You don't need rage. You need control. Control makes them sweat more than anger ever could. Yeah. They'll try to intimidate you. They'll try to remind you of who they once were. But their voices are hollow now. Authority without respect is nothing but noise. And noise dies when confronted with cold focus. The terror that eats at them now is the knowledge that their empire is in your hands. Not because you stole it, not because you begged for it, but because they handed it to you in their arrogance. Their punishment was the key. You're just the one bold enough to turn it. Nah, don't think for a second they'll accept defeat gracefully. They'll scratch, they'll claw, they'll invent stories, twist narratives, accuse you of every shadow they can conjure. But desperation has a smell, and once people smell it, loyalty vanishes. That's the beauty of truth as a weapon. It doesn't need you to shout. It needs only patience. Their panic exposes them faster than your attack ever could. Oh wow. The silence of your strategy will torture them more than 1,000 loud confrontations, because silence forces them to fill the gaps with their own fear. They will imagine every move you might make, every file you might release, every word you might speak. And the longer you wait, when you finally strike, it won't even look like violence. It'll look like inevitability. The evidence will speak louder than your voice. The punishment they tried to dodge will become the noose they tied around their own throats. And people will see, not you forcing the collapse, but them collapsing under their own crimes. That's what makes your weapon unstoppable. It doesn't need permission. It doesn't need validation. It simply exists, undeniable. Yeah, this is the turning point. You are no longer reacting. You are deciding. You are no longer the hunted. You are the one with the shadows at your command. They once whispered about you in secret. Now every whisper in the streets is about them. That is how punishment becomes your weapon, and that is how weapons reshape the battlefield. But here's the question that burns deeper than all. Once you have this weapon, once you've turned their punishment into your strength, what comes after the strike? Victory is never free. Every strike leaves a mark, even on the one who swings the blade. And when you've chosen to use the weapon, their punishment sharpened into your power, the world doesn't applaud forever. The world waits. It waits to see if you can survive the aftermath. Oh, wow. People think the climax is the end. That once the enemy falls, the curtain drops, the crowd cheers, and life resets to normal. But life doesn't reset. After the strike comes the silence, and that silence is heavier than the war, because silence asks the questions no one dares speak. Will you stand taller now that you've won? Or will the very weapon that gave you strength poison your hand if you hold it too tightly? You see, once you use the weapon, eyes multiply. Every face turns toward you, some with awe, some with suspicion, some with envy. That's the price of exposure. It doesn't only crush them, it exposes you. You can't hide in the background anymore. You've stepped into the light, and the light burns as much as it shines. Yeah, people will whisper. They always do. They'll say you were clever. They'll say you were ruthless. They'll say you did what no one else dared to do. But behind every word of praise will crawl a question. How long before you fall the same way? That's the danger of surviving the strike. Everyone waits to see if the one who destroyed can also endure. Nah, don't think survival is about retreat. It's not about crawling back into the shadows and pretending you were never there. Survival is about discipline. It's about holding the weapon without letting it control you. It's about knowing when to strike and when to stay still, when to speak and when silence cuts deeper than words. Surviving the consequences means you master the weapon. The weapon never masters you. The truth is this: enemies will return. Not the same faces, not the same crimes, but others. Power attracts conflict, like blood attracts sharks. That's why survival isn't a pause after victory. Survival is the continuation of war, but fought with patience, vigilance, and clarity. If you think the weapon was given to you only once, you're mistaken. Life keeps handing you blades, but also keeps testing if you can carry them without cutting yourself open. Oh wow, here is the paradox. The stronger you become, the more fragile they expect you to be. They watch you closer. They wait for cracks. They pray for mistakes. They whisper in corners, just like the ones who plotted against you before. But you already know how that story ends. You've seen what exposure does. You've seen what punishment delivers. And that knowledge is your shield. Surviving the consequences means you walk differently now. You walk not with arrogance, but with precision. Every step measured, every word deliberate, every silence intentional. Because you've learned that real power isn't in shouting louder, it's in controlling the room without raising your voice. It's in carrying the weapon while making the world forget you're even holding it. Yeah, survival is the true test, not the strike, not the collapse of your enemies. Survival is the quiet war that never ends. It's about lasting longer than their memory of your victory. It's about standing when they expected you to crumble. It's about proving, day after day, that exposure and punishment weren't just accidents of fate. They were the inevitable consequences of truth. Nah, survival isn't glamorous. It's not fireworks, it's not applause. It's discipline in the dark. It's patience when provoked. It's strength when silence feels unbearable. It's the ability to carry the weapon without ever letting it consume you. And that is the difference between those who burn bright and vanish and those who endure unshaken. So here we are. The meeting was exposed, their crimes overheard, reported. Punishment fell. You turned it into your weapon. You struck when the time was right. And now as the dust settles, the final test rises before you. Can you survive long enough to ensure they never rise again? And now, the stage is burning behind them. Oh, they thought power was armor, but power turned into chains real heavy. Every whisper they made now echoes in reports. Every crime they buried, dug up, exposed raw. Can you hear it? The footsteps of justice getting louder. Oh yeah, the silence they once trusted, betrayed them, their empire, their secrets, their fake smiles, crumbling apart. Tick, 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 the countdown doesn't stop, it screams. They tried to erase you? Nah, you became the witness. They tried to erase the truth became the weapon, and now, as doors slam, as names are called, one question still burns in the smoke. Sharp, cutting. Who's next to fall when the walls keep listening? Look at them. Right there. Talking, texting, calling, spinning their stories like they own the world. But you see it too? The cracks. The tiny slips. The desperation hiding behind their polished smiles. They're running on fumes, on whispers, on the illusion that no one notices. But we notice. Every move, every excuse, every time they play the victim while stepping in their own mess. It's exhausting just watching, right? And yet, there's something magnetic about it. Something almost hypnotic. The way people scramble to cover themselves when the spotlight hits. The irony. You think you're just observing, but deep down, you feel the pull, the tension, that edge between exposure and denial. It's raw, it's real, and it's happening right now. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. No, no, no. Don't blink. Don't look away. Because this isn't just someone else's chaos. This is a reflection. A mirror staring back at you, challenging you, testing you. Who are you when the truth comes knocking? When all the smoke and mirrors collapse? When people who claim innocence are caught red-handed in their own narratives? It's almost poetic. Watching the scripts crumble, watching the excuses fail. You can feel the tension tightening around them, choking every lie, every half-truth, every manipulated story. And what do? You watch, you learn, you rise above. Because the real victory isn't in exposing them, it's in controlling your own story, in mastering your own reality while everyone else gets trapped in theirs. Now picture it. The phone ringing all night, messages piling up, excuses streaming endlessly. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Sound familiar? And yet the evidence sits there. Silent, patient, inevitable, waiting, just like life, waiting to reveal the cracks, waiting to test patience, resilience, and courage. And you, yes, you sitting there watching this unfold, have a choice. You can get dragged into the chaos, or you can stand apart, analyze, absorb, learn. There's a dark beauty in clarity, a brutal honesty in witnessing the truth without losing yourself in the drama. That's where the power lies. That's where the lesson hides. Don't fool yourself into thinking this is about anyone else. It's about understanding patterns, observing behavior, learning what not to do. Because let's be real, everyone has their dirt. Everyone has a weak point. Everyone has moments where the mask slips, where the self-constructed narrative falters. But not everyone sees it. Not everyone learns. And that's where the edge comes from. The edge that separates the spectators from the masters. From the ones who rise silently, while others crash noisily in their own chaos. And trust me, there's satisfaction in knowing which side you're on. It's not revenge, it's awareness. Pure, unfiltered awareness. Can you feel it? The tension building? The stories unravel around you while you sit, calm, collected, sharp, watching people spin the same tales, repeating the same errors, thinking the night is theirs to command. But it isn't. The night belongs to the observant. The night belongs to the ones who don't get lost in the chatter, the gossip, the endless cycle of excuse-making. And that's where you step in. That's where your opportunity lies. Not in shouting, not in judging, but in harnessing every lesson, every slip, every fleeting moment of exposure. Because while they're caught in the loop, playing victim, defending the indefensible, you are building strength, strategy, mastery, patience. And that, my friend, is more powerful than any chaos around you. This is where it gets real. Watching chaos isn't enough. Observing cracks isn't enough. You have to turn it into fuel. Fuel for focus. Fuel for growth. Every late night call, every fabricated story, every desperate attempt to look innocent, it's a lesson, a blueprint of what not to do. And you're the one reading it, absorbing it, learning faster than anyone else. Funny, isn't it? While they stumble in their own mess, you're sharpening your edge, quietly, relentlessly. No. Don't just scroll past. Don't just shake your head and sigh. Every exposure, every slip, every moment of truth. This is your moment to rise. The world doesn't hand clarity on a silver platter. You have to catch it, wrestle it, own it. They got caught, yes. But that's not the point. The point is seeing the pattern. The point is realizing that chaos is inevitable, but falling into it is optional. And here's the kicker. You are in control, always. The power isn't in them admitting their dirt. The power is in you staying untangled while the world spins out. Sweet, isn't it? Now picture your life like theirs. All the distractions, the drama, the endless excuses. What if you could see it before it collapses? What if you could navigate the night without tripping over the chaos. That's not luck. That's strategy. That awareness turned into action. And it starts with a single choice. Observation without judgment. Seems simple, but simple is lethal. Simple is precise. Simple is what keeps you standing while others crash, blaming everything but themselves, because they're stuck in the loop. And you're learning the rules they refuse to see. Don't underestimate the power of stillness. Stillness in the middle of chaos. Calm when the phones won't stop ringing. Silence when the stories try to drown you. That's where strength is born. That's where insight thrives. You don't have to react. You don't have to argue. You don't have to prove a point. Just watch, learn, adapt. Build your own momentum while everyone else is tangled in the illusion of control. It's beautiful when you realize you've been training all along just by paying attention. And here's the real trick. The final piece most people miss. They think exposure is punishment. They think chaos is a trap. But it's not. It's a teacher. Every phone call, every accusation, every desperate attempt to shift blame is a lesson in disguise. You take it, you study it, you rise above it. That's how victories are earned, quietly. That's how you get ahead without anyone realizing until it's too late. The irony is delicious. While they're busy spinning their web of lies, you're weaving your own tapestry of skill, patience, and insight. No. Don't let anyone tell you it's easy. It's brutal. It's raw. It's exhausting to see people fall in loops they can't escape. But that's exactly why it works. That's exactly why the observant always wins. Every slip is a clue. Every manipulation is a signal. Every victim act is a roadmap of where not to step. And while they're trapped in the night, calling, whining, playing the victim, you're free. Free to think, free to act, free to rise. There's nothing sweeter than clarity in chaos. So here's the challenge. Step up. Don't just watch the world burn in slow motion. Take the lessons. Build your strategy. Let the noise teach you precision. Let the lies sharpen your awareness. Let the victim act to fuel your resilience. Because at the end of the night, when the calls stop, when the stories fade, when everyone else is tangled in their own mess, you'll be the one standing. Calm. Focused, stronger than they ever imagined. Now it all comes down to this. The night is quiet. The phones stop ringing. The excuses fade. The masks slip completely. And what are you left with? Truth, clarity, power. Do you feel it? That pulse, that edge? That's not just adrenaline. That's the moment you realize no one can trap you in their chaos. No one can drag you down. Not when you've been watching, learning, sharpening. The irony is delicious. While they've been busy playing victim, you've been playing the game that actually matters. Don't underestimate what you've built in silence. Every observation, every mental note, every lesson from their mistakes. That's your arsenal. That's your advantage. And here's the kicker. Most people never see it coming. They think the night owns them. They think exposure is punishment. But exposure is nothing. Awareness is everything. And you're armed. You're untouchable by the chaos that swallows the rest. It's intoxicating when you realize you've been prepared all along. Think about it. Every late night call, every desperate excuse, every victim act you've seen, it was a warning, a blueprint, a masterclass in what happens when people lose control. Funny, isn't it? While they crumble under their own mistakes, you've been building resilience, discipline, strategy, insight. And now, it's your move. Not tomorrow, not later. Now, the night isn't theirs. The chaos isn't theirs. It's yours to navigate. Your mind, your choices, your power. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for a signal. Don't wait for anyone else to admit their failures. The world doesn't hand out victories. You take them, you seize them, you rise. That's the thrill. That's the lesson. That's the secret that no one else wants you to see. Control is an inside job. Awareness is a weapon. Observation is the edge. And when you wield it, nothing can touch you in the same way again. So here's what you do. Step into your own night. Watch the world around you unravel. Yes, but don't get tangled. Learn, grow, master yourself. Take every lesson from their chaos and turn it into fuel. Because while they're busy blaming, spinning, whining, you're building strength, clarity, and dominance in silence. That's where true power hides. That's where winners are made. That's where legends are born, quietly, in the dark, unseen, until it's too late for everyone else. Don't forget this. Every call, every lie, every victim act. It's a reminder that life doesn't pause for excuses, that exposure is inevitable, that the only control you have is over your mind, your actions, your story. And if you take that control, if you rise above the chaos, if you transform observation into action, there's nothing that can stop you. Nothing. Not the noise, not the drama, not the distractions. You are the calm in the storm, the eye in the hurricane, the one who rises while everyone else falls. So remember this, as you walk back into your day. The night will call, the chaos will whisper, the stories will continue, but you are ready, you are aware, you are stronger. Stronger than you ever realized. And when the next call comes, when the next lie surfaces, when the next victim act unfolds, you will not falter, you will not waver, you will move with precision, power, and patience. That's your gift. That's your weapon. That's your victory. And no one can take it from you. This is where it stops being observation and starts being action. You've seen the patterns. You've felt the tension. You've learned the lessons. Funny how clarity hits hardest when everyone else is blinded by their own chaos. But clarity isn't just for watching. It's for moving. It's for deciding that your story will never get caught in the same loops, the same excuses, the same late night calls. This is where you step into your own control, where observation turns into dominance. Don't mistake patience for passivity. Don't confuse watching for weakness. Every lesson, every slip, every victim act you've witnessed is fuel. Every failure you've noticed is a stepping stone. Beautiful, isn't it? The ones who stumble are showing you the path without even knowing it. And you have the choice to rise, to act, to master, to become the one who moves while everyone else is trapped in the story they think they own. Think about the calls that never stop, the stories that never end, the people who cry victim while walking in their own dirt. Imagine taking all of that and turning it into focus, turning distraction into strategy, turning their chaos into your blueprint. Every misstep they make is a lesson you carry forward, a warning etched into your awareness. And every time you watch without reacting impulsively, you build something stronger. Clarity, patience, insight, dominance. Don't wait for validation. Don't wait for the world to notice. The night doesn't care who's right. The chaos doesn't ask permission. The real power lies in the quiet, in the unseen work, in turning every observation into advantage. While they're lost in excuses, you're building momentum. While they collapse under their own narratives, you're rising in yours. Step by step, choice by choice, thought by thought. That's how victories are claimed. That's how legends are forged. So here's the final truth, the ultimate punchline of this madness. You are not defined by their chaos. You are not trapped by their lies. You are not a victim of their games. You are the observer, the strategist, the one who learns and moves while everyone else is busy flailing. And when the next night comes, when the next calls ring, when the next drama unfolds, you will be ready. You will be calm. You will be precise. You will rise, stronger, sharper, untouched by the noise. No. Remember this and engrave it into your mind. The world is messy. People will stumble. Stories will twist. Excuses will flow endlessly. But clarity, focus, and awareness, those are yours to claim. Embrace it, own it, use it. Let the chaos around you be your teacher, not your trap. And when it's all said and done, when the night finally ends, you will not just survive. You will dominate your story. You will be the one standing, unshaken, unstoppable in your own right. So step forward, step into the night, step into the lessons. Turn the noise into strategy, the chaos into fuel, the exposure into power. And never ever forget, while the rest get caught in their own mess, you're building an empire of awareness, strength, and control. That is your edge. That is your victory. And from this night forward, no one, nothing will ever take it from you. Listen up. They tried to clip you down. Yeah, they thought you'd crumble. Oh wow, they didn't see it coming. Did they? Every smug smile, every little whisper, oof, gone in an instant. You stood there, calm, untouchable, and fried at their ego. Can you feel the chaos, the shock, the panic? This isn't luck. This is precision, raw domination. And now, the world notices you're unstoppable. Unstoppable, They thought they could touch you. They thought you were fragile. How laughable, how tragically blind. The moment it hits you, that flicker in their eyes when they think they have the power to humble you. They lean in, whispering, sneering, trying to convince the world and themselves that you can be broken. And wow, you feel it, don't you? That faint prickle along your spine, the weight of their arrogance pressing down, trying to bend you to shape you into something small. But here's the brutal truth. You were never theirs to shape. You were never theirs to claim. Their confidence, that towering structure of pride and pretense, it stands on the edge of a cliff, fragile, untested, foolish. They parade around like rulers of a kingdom of illusions, believing that a single word, a single look could chip away at your essence. But you know the secret they'll never admit. Attempts to humble you are invitations to ascend. Every smirk thrown your way, every whisper behind your back becomes fuel for a fire they didn't know you possessed. Nah, and here's where it gets delicious. They strike with subtlety, thinking it will catch you off guard, but you're ready. You've studied the battlefield of human pride, the way egos fracture under pressure, and suddenly in that tiny fraction of a second you see it, the cracks forming in their facade. Their arrogance begins to waver, and yes, it's intoxicating. Not because you wanted to see them fall, but because the truth of your resilience shines brighter than any shadow they tried to cast. The air thickens. Every glance, every breath, every heartbeat becomes a silent battlefield. You feel the electric thrill of recognition. Oh wow, this is it. The moment they realize they underestimated you, their eyes widen, their voice falters. Their carefully constructed walls of pride begin to smoke and warp. And in that moment, a transformation occurs. You are no longer reacting. You are the storm. You are the calm before the explosion, the silent predator who lets the chaos reveal itself. Every attack aimed at your ego ricochets back. Every attempt to diminish your light only amplifies it. They wanted to humble you. They wanted to instill doubt. But all they've done is sharpen you, forge you, mold you into something untouchable. Something so precise and dangerous that even their own reflections begin to tremble. They misjudged you. They assumed fragility where there was strength. They mistook patience for weakness. Oh, it's a beautiful irony. While they thought they were in control, the game had already shifted. They never saw the silent smile curl at the corner of your lips. They never noticed the spark in your eyes that tells them you just lost. The battlefield has changed. The rules are yours. And in that instant, the seed is planted. A seed of domination, of clarity, of unshakable power. And now, the moment arrives where you sense the turning point. Their pride, that fragile construct, is teetering on the edge. The walls they built to cage the world, and you are cracking under their own weight. And you stand there, silent, watching. Oh, the anticipation is intoxicating. Every attempt to break you becomes a brick in your fortress. Oh, you feel it now. That quiet, simmering realization that the attack aimed at you, the blow meant to humble your spirit, has just handed you the advantage. They threw their ego at you, expecting fracture. They expected a stumble, a flinch, a whisper of doubt in your eyes. But what they got is clarity. Pure, unshakable clarity. Every sneer, every sharp word, every whisper behind your back, yeah, every single one has become a tool in your arsenal. Do you see it? The way their arrogance trembles, the way their eyes dart, searching for weakness and finding none? They aimed to weaken you, but instead they fed you. Each attempt to diminish you becomes a spark in the furnace of your power. You start to understand the delicate, dangerous beauty of this game. The very energy they wield against you is now yours to redirect. And wow, the thrill of that revelation is electrifying. It's a rush like no other. Nah. It's not just reaction, it's mastery. Because here's the cruel genius of this moment. They believe they're in control. They believe they're orchestrating your humility. And yet, in their arrogance, they fail to see the pivot. The instant you step into it, you flip the board. Suddenly, they're the ones exposed. Their pride, their posturing, their carefully constructed superiority, all of it begins to wobble like a castle on sand. The smile they wanted to erase from your face, that smile is sharper now, edged with a knowing that they never imagined. Every calculated attack, every sly attempt to undermine your confidence, rebounds. Their intention was precision. They wanted to hit you where it hurts most. But oh, the irony is exquisite, because you've learned the rhythm of this battlefield. You've learned how to anticipate the moves before they even leave their lips. And suddenly what they thought was a simple skirmish becomes a trap of their own design. Their arrogance is bait, their pride is exposed, and their ego, oh wow, is cooking under the heat of their own miscalculation. And the most delicious part? They can feel it. The instant the tide shifts, the panic seeps into their posture. Every subtle twitch, every faltering glance betrays the truth they're too blind to admit. They underestimated you. They believed that patience or humility or silence could be mistaken for weakness. But you've become the force that turns every shadow they cast into light. Every attempt to diminish you only illuminates the unshakable presence you command. Yeah? And now comes the true art of the turning. You don't simply react, you orchestrate. You let the tension build, let the uncertainty fester, let them wonder, let them fear. You draw out every flicker of doubt they planted in their own minds and twist it, sharpen it, until it cuts deeper than anything they tried to throw at you. They tried to humble you, and now, unknowingly, they're the ones caught in the crossfire of their own arrogance. Oh, do you hear that silence? That electric waiting pause where everything hangs on a knife's edge? That's the moment where victory whispers, the moment where power no longer comes from action but from presence. You stand there calm, controlled, untouchable. They stare, searching for cracks and finding none. And every heartbeat they spend fearing you strengthens the reality they cannot escape. They're already defeated. And so, the lesson is clear. Every blow meant to destroy you, every attempt to humble your spirit is a building block in your unbreakable fortress. Every smirk, every sneer, every subtle attempt to intimidate becomes fuel. Every attack is transformed into an instrument of dominance. You don't just survive, they crumble, and the air around you hums with the inevitability of your power. Some victories are whispered. Yours is a roar. Oh, did you feel it? That instant when the shift occurs, subtle but undeniable. Their ego trembles like glass under a hammer, and yet they don't know why. They aimed for you, but the outcome is a weapon forged from their own miscalculation. Every glance they cast your way, every word they threw like a dart, ricocheted back. And wow, the beauty of it is that it wasn't force. It was precision. It was silence. It was understanding the battlefield better than they ever could. Yeah, in this moment, the rules bend. They thought power was theirs to wield over you. They thought arrogance could bend reality, could make you bow. But here's the truth they will never admit. Their power was never real. It was an illusion, a fragile shell. And you are the storm that shatters it in a heartbeat. One calculated move, one razor-sharp word, one subtle action, and suddenly their entire understanding of control is undone. Their ego, that towering illusion, fries before their eyes. Nah, it doesn't scream, it doesn't plead, it just collapses. And you watch, calm, measured, untouchable. There's an electric thrill in seeing the underestimated fold under their own assumptions, the moment they realize too late that the game was never theirs to win. Their confidence is gone. Their posturing is hollow. And you're the quiet hurricane at the center of it all. Every detail matters. Every subtle shift in your stance, every controlled exhale, every glimmer of recognition in your eyes, it amplifies the effect. They misjudged you. They thought silence was weakness. They thought patience was passivity. Oh, the irony is breathtaking. Every attempt to humble you is now a spotlight, illuminating your mastery. Every calculated attack is a mirror reflecting their own fragility. And the room, the very air around you, hums with it. They feel it. They cannot escape it, but they do not understand it. The art lies not in confrontation, but in inevitability. You do not need to strike repeatedly. You do not need to shout. The moment is yours, and it resonates like a hammer blow in slow motion. Their ego begins to collapse before your eyes. Their pride, their arrogance, their false superiority, all of it fries in an instant, leaving only fragments. And in that silence, that pause between breaths, you realize domination is not in destruction, it is in transformation. You turn their energy into your advantage, their schemes into your ladder, their underestimation into your weapon. Oh, the thrill of this understanding is intoxicating. You are untouchable. You are precise. You are the calm force that bends reality without effort. The predator hidden in plain sight. The eye of a storm that cannot be predicted. And the more they struggle, the more obvious it becomes. They were never equipped to understand you, to measure you, to challenge you. Every second, every heartbeat, every pulse of their failing arrogance is a testament to your supremacy. And now, as the smoke of their shattered pride rises, you sense the final truth of this act. You have fried their ego instantly, but what comes next is even more intoxicating, because raw dominance is not complete without control over the aftermath. You have the power to decide. Do you crush what remains, or do you watch it implode on its own? Destruction is nothing until you build from it. Oh, do you feel the weight of it? The silence after the storm, the air thick with the remnants of what they thought would break you. Their ego lies in ruins. Their arrogance is ash. And yet, you are standing, calm, unshaken, knowing that the power of a single moment, can change everything. Every attempt to humble you, every strike meant to wound you, has become the scaffolding of your rise. Their failure is not your triumph alone, it is your blueprint. Look closely. Every insult, every whisper meant to cut, every shadowed glance, they were bricks. You didn't just survive the storm, you built from it. You forged a fortress from their schemes, a monument from their underestimation, and wow, the thrill of watching what was meant to diminish you instead amplify your presence is intoxicating. It's a revelation. The same force designed to bring you low now elevates you higher than they ever imagined. Nah, it's not luck. It's mastery. It's patience. It's the quiet understanding that the world will always attempt to weigh you down, to cage you, to define you. And yet, every attack is an opportunity. Every challenge is a chance to sharpen yourself, to grow stronger, to rise beyond the vision of those who sought to control you. They thought they could see the edges of your potential, but the truth, your edges are limitless. Their perception is the cage. Your awareness is the key. Every moment of struggle, every second of doubt cast by others is now a fuel source. You convert weakness into strength. You convert attack into strategy. You convert their arrogance into proof of your resilience. Oh, the satisfaction of standing tall while they scramble, trying to reclaim relevance, is unparalleled. You are not only untouchable, you are evolving. You are the force that reshapes the landscape around you, the storm that leaves no space for fragile pride to exist. And here's the razor-sharp truth. The process of rebuilding is more potent than destruction itself. Their ego is gone, yes, fried to the core, but your growth, your elevation, your transformation, that is permanent, that is unassailable, that is yours. The air around you hums with it. Every subtle shift in your stance, every confident gaze, every deliberate pause reinforces it. They watch, powerless, as the very fire they tried to ignite in fear becomes the forge of your unshakable presence. Yeah, and the irony is breathtaking. They believed they were shaping reality. They thought their words and actions could define you. But the real power is always self-mastery. The real power is knowing your value, asserting your presence, and allowing their attempts at control to become instruments of your own rise. Every fragment of ego you shattered in them becomes a mirror, reflecting the undeniable truth of your strength. Oh, imagine it, standing on the remnants of their arrogance, breathing in the clarity, feeling the pulse of control that no one else can touch. You are more than unbroken. You are untouchable. And with every beat, every breath, every conscious step forward, you are ascending into a realm they cannot even perceive. Their downfall was never the goal. It was the catalyst. And now, standing above the ashes, you sense the final edge of power waiting to be claimed. The final truth. The one they will never admit. You are untouchable. Oh, can you feel it? That moment when everything they tried to control has slipped through their fingers? The air trembles with it. Their arrogance, their pride, their illusions, they are gone. Fried. Reduced to whispers of what they once believed was power. And yet, here you stand. Taller, sharper, immovable. You've taken the blows meant to fracture you and transformed them into a fortress that no one can breach. Wow, it's intoxicating. The clarity of your presence, the weight of your dominance, the unspoken command in every glance, it hits harder than any shout, any act, any attempt they could have made to humble you. They watch wide-eyed as the force they misjudged rises above them, untethered, untouchable. And the realization hits them like lightning. Their world is irrelevant in the shadow of your ascent. Yeah, you don't just survive, you dominate. You convert every attempt to belittle into proof of your strength. Every whisper meant to sow doubt becomes a pillar of certainty. Every sneer meant to intimidate becomes a mirror reflecting your brilliance. Their ego may have been their weapon, but in your hands it becomes nothing more than fuel for the storm that is you. And oh, the storm is magnificent. Nah, they think they understand you. They think they've measured your limits, tested your patience, calculated your reactions. But the truth is simple. You are beyond their perception, beyond their schemes, beyond the fragile constructions of arrogance they call ego. Every heartbeat, every breath, every silent moment becomes a declaration. You are not just unbroken, you are unstoppable. Every step you take, every measured motion, every pause in your movement carries weight. They flinch, they hesitate, they wonder, and in that hesitation lies your power. They tried to humble you. They tried to contain you. They tried to predict you. And yet in every attempt, they revealed the very thing they sought to destroy, your untouchable presence. Oh, and the world senses it. Not in words, not in whispers, but in the shift of energy that trails you. Every subtle glance, every unassuming movement carries the force of inevitability. They can't deny it. They can't stop it. They can't even understand it. Their failure is your legacy. Their misjudgment is your proof. And their panic, their disbelief, their silent terror, that is the echo of your rise. Wow. Imagine it. Standing above the ashes of their arrogance, breathing in the clarity of your own strength, feeling the pulse of control that no one else can touch. You are a force of nature, not because they feared it, but because it exists, undeniable, in your presence. Every act, every strategy, every move they attempted has built the reality you now command. They cannot unsee it. They cannot unfeel it. And that is the ultimate power. Yeah. And here is the final truth. Domination is not loud. It is quiet. It is precise. It is inevitable. You don't need to destroy them further. Their ego is already fried. Their power is already gone. What remains is the lesson etched into the air itself. Never underestimate the one who turns every attack into ascension, every shadow into light, every attempt to humble into the forge of unstoppable strength. Oh, smile. Not in malice, not in vengeance, but in recognition of the unstoppable self you have become. You are untouchable. You are unstoppable. You are the master of your destiny. And their failure? It was never your obstacle. It was the spark that ignited the legend within you. So here's the truth. They tried to break you. Yeah, they tried to clip your wings. Nah, but look at you, standing taller, sharper, untouchable. Every glance they throw now trembles. Every whisper dies in fear. Poof. You didn't just survive, you dominated. Oh wow, feel it. That power, that clarity, that unstoppable force coursing through you. It's real. And remember this, every attempt to humble you only built the legend within you. Now, the world sees it. You are untouchable, unstoppable, unshakable, and nothing can ever take that from you.